Is monogamy practical in 2025? I was reading my Bible this morning. You know, early bird gets the worm. I woke up. I was reading the part in the Old Testament of where I think the dude's name is Nabal. And King David sent his men to go ask Nabal, hey, bro, we've done this for you. We've watched over your niggas. Like, bro, let's get some food, bro. Like, be a real one, be a real nigga. Let us get some food. We're hungry. Take care of us however you see fit, however the generosity in your heart sees fit to take care of us. And that nigga Nabal was like, nah, I ain't giving y'all nothing. You feel me? Like, what is you talking about? So then David went with his men. He said, boys, get your swords ready. If this were 2025, he'd say, load up on the Glocks, load up on the pistols, load up with the switches, and let's ride. So then they started riding, right? One of David's servants told Nabal's wife about it, what their plan was, and Nabal's wife basically went out to meet King David, pleaded on the ground, like bowed down before him. Hey, my husband's a fool. He's an idiot. Please, please do not kill him. And one could argue what she did was beneficial because David took heed to her plead. He didn't kill him. However, like a week later, Nabal ended up having a heart attack, and then David heard of it, and he thanked God for it, and he went back and he married his wife. So, is monogamy practical? And if you look at the past, you can see many other stories like that. I mean, you don't even have to look that far either. It's 2025. You can think about Jeff Bezos' ex-wife who, when she met, I think it was Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean, just look up Jeff Bezos' wife and Leonardo DiCaprio and you'll get the secondhand embarrassment. And then they ended up getting divorced and now he has a new woman. But she took like more than 50% of his assets. Dude's a billionaire. So when you think about it, like, is monogamy worth it? You know, back then one could argue, back in the olden days, that it wasn't really worth it. That's why nobody really did it. However, now 50 to 60% of marriages end in divorce. Most of the women take the men's assets. Is it worth it in 2025? Correction with my nigga Jeff Bezos. So actually, his ex-wife did divorce him and is now worth $42 billion. So she's one of the richest people in the world now, one of the 2,000 billionaires because of their divorce. But it was actually his current girlfriend that was looking at DiCaprio like she wanted to devour him. I think that's even worse. Look, maybe I'm the problem. I don't know. But there was just something disheartening and also insanely hilarious about finding out that David's op's wife got with him right after he died. David was just like, oh, now that your dude is dead, come through, shawty. And she was like, okay, say less. I don't know. That just rubbed me the wrong way. And I know we're not supposed to play devil's advocate as Christians, right? We're not supposed to oppose the people that God opposes, like David, my favorite character in the Bible still. But I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Put yourself in Nabal's shoes. You've been with this woman for decades. You've taken care of her. You took her from her family, brought her into your family to take care of her. You build a relationship with her. And right after you die, she gets with the dude who was just about to murder you brutally. I don't know. And that was in the old times when people, men and women, were known to be more loyal. So I don't know, imagine right now, 2025, when most marriages end in divorces, our culture is just indulged in hookup culture. Nobody wants to commit, nobody wants to be loyal, everybody wants to stay in the miserable talking stage forever. Everybody just bounces from person to person to person to person. The way my mind works, I'm thinking, yo, if that could happen back then in Israel, I'm scared of what could happen now. So to sum it up, is monogamy worth it in 2025? Is monogamy feasible? Can it even work? My best advice on this is Men and women, look for a good partner. Make sure personality is a big factor in you guys' relationships, because most of the people in our generation, they just ain't it, bro. They just ain't it. And they will slime you out harder than the ball's wife did him. Like, no cap. So that's my biggest thing, man. Our generation is calling for disloyalty, staying in the staying in the talking stage forever, never actually giving anybody commitment. And it's not easy to commit, I'm not gonna lie, especially when you live in a culture that's overly sexualized and everybody just bounces from person to person to person, body count to body count to body count. It's not easy doing that in this culture, especially when we're overindulged with pornographic content and all these different things. However, I think there's something beautiful about training your body, disciplining yourself to be able to be loyal, to be able to be committed to somebody, even when your flesh and all these different things are trying to pull you away from it. So, is monogamy worth it? Eli's advice: it's worth it if you find somebody who genuinely loves and cares for you. Plain and simple. And until you find that person, just keep focusing on yourself, because it's rough out here.